Hello everybody, welcome to the listening log. February 6th to February 13th. Let's take a look at music. I talk about music a little less than I used to. I'll be the first to admit it, okay? But I love music. I might not be exploring everything in the way I was like maybe a few years ago and reviewing them on my channel. We're just taking this as it goes. On February 6th, J. Cole released a little album called The Fall Off, and on the Friday I started logging down everything I was listening to on my notes app. Every time I listened to an album, I would write it down. I was like, maybe I can make a video, and here we are, I'm making that video. I don't know if I'm gonna do this every week. Do not trust me to commit to a segment, but here we are. On Friday I listened to The Fall Off, then I listened to By Storms, My Ghost Go Goes, and I listened to The Fall Off again. I listened to The Fall Off twice. It's a long album, bro. It's like an hour 40 minutes, okay? I wish it was shorter. Very common complaint with long albums is, oh, you know, it's too long. That's like a textbook issue with long albums, is that they're way too long. But sometimes that length is well justified, and I think this was a case where it was not, because the second disc for the most part is a complete wasteland of nothing. I hate the second disc of The Fall Off. We're gonna have a look at this track list. The majority of the ones I enjoy are on the first disc. Genuinely, disc 2 from track 2 to like the end is awful. Hate's a strong word. You gotta reserve the word hate for the things that really grind your gears, and I would say Life Sentence really grinds my gears, as does Only You, as does What If. Oh, Old Dog definitely grinds my gears. 39 Intros is actually sick as hell. I really like the final verse on that. He really goes nutso on that last verse. That was fun. Probably like the biggest spotlighting of J. Cole's rapping skill on the whole record is actually on 39 Intro with that last verse. He just kind of keeps going, finding new rhyme schemes and flow pockets and punchlines. And I think J. Cole, when he's in his like braggadocious bag and going flashy mode with it, he's pretty great and he can really deliver in that context. But as a storyteller, I find him unbelievably dull. I don't find him very gripping. I can occasionally find him quite sweet and earnest, and overall I do like J. Cole as a personality. I Love Her Again and What If rolled my eyes endlessly on those ones. Quick Stop was a bit more compelling. I like the more muted production and the kind of anger in J. Cole's voice as it progressed. That was interesting to me, just from a musical point of view. But one overall complaint I have with this record and J. Cole in general is actually really nicely summarized in this Open Mike Eagle video. Yeah, this one right here. I was watching it on my break at work. I didn't finish the video, as you can see, which is a shame. I'll have to watch the rest another time. But while I was watching it, he said something that really, it was something I thought as well. It was something that came to my mind during my first listen of The Fall Off. I believe it was when I hit the track Safety, this track right here, which this track has been getting in a bit of hot water for good reason, because it has a really stupid verse where he talks about a gay friend that he did not respect when he came out as gay. He feels bad about doing that, and he's getting kind of vulnerable and, you know, trying to sort of make it up, I guess, in this track. He has this really silly line in it where he's like, we all knew what kind of team he was playing for. He was with the fruity types, the dick and the booty types. It's a really dumb way to, you know, spell it out for us. Okay, so he was gay, is what you're trying to say. Like, you know what I'm talking about, the fruity types, you know, those dick and the booty sort of guys. Like, oh yeah, you mean like, yeah, like, okay, like gay people. That's what you're talking about. It's like, fucking hell, man. Like, really, bro? That's how you wanted to phrase it? I get that this is disc 29, so it's like him when he was 29 years old. So maybe, you know, like he's trying to say, oh, I was younger, and this is sort of his perspective then. But even then, it's still just like, it's just sort of a massive eye roll. I don't know. It came off a little performative, a little bit. Anyway, Open Mike Eagle, he said something that I thought, and that was J. Cole makes music that he thinks he should make, or something like that. He's like a rapper that raps in a way that he thinks rap should be. Like, he's kind of boxed into this idea of what a rap song, or a good rap song is. And he doesn't really have a very broad view. I've been saying for a while, like, J. Cole's idea of what hip-hop can be is very close-minded. You know, Dreamville in general, I think, kind of have this problem. Jid is the best member of Dreamville because he's a little bit more willing to go daring and have a bit more personality on the mic, you know? And it's not like J. Cole has to be on some like fucking JPEG Mafia shit and like really playing with the rap template like to be you know, good. Like, there's plenty of amazing rappers who have an approach that's pretty traditional, beats and bars. You know, look at Griselda. Let's listen to it.
Got no clue about who I really am. Too much on my plate, and I know you can. When you're the greatest rapper of the century, you'll get another shot. The club will start to get too hot.
See, when I hear this, I guess I hear like the choir vocals in the background.
And my retina antennas are scanned.
I don't know. I feel the intention and what the song wants me to feel before I feel the song. Like that haze of intention is surrounding near enough every song on this album. And that's like a big barrier that stops me from really connecting with J. Cole on a stronger level. There are plenty of songs on here that are really, really solid. You know, 2-6 is a fun, like fast-paced, amped up little banger that sounds like something that wouldn't sound too out of place on like a JID album. If there's any song where I'd like a JID feature, it'd probably be that one. Run a Train has my favorite chorus. Future goes like, fuck what you know about your man. Who the fuck is you? Yeah, awesome beat switch on that one. Enjoyed his Eminem cadences. You know, he was like, it's me, the full name, Jermaine Cole, He had like a little Eminem-y sort of thing going on there. The Let Out is a weird highlight for me. I think the Let Out's kind of awesome. It seems like it's not really going down very well. Like there was a friend of mine I was messaging who we were going over like favorite tracks, because it was funny, we like messaged at the same time. He was like, the first disc is alright, like overall it's good, but it has got some stinkers, like blah blah blah, and the Let Out. And right as he sent that, I was like, I love the Let Out, and it was just like a funny like awkward, you know. But yeah, I actually think the Let Out's awesome. I'm a big fan of this song. It's so dramatic. It sounds so like moody and dramatic, and it's just weird hearing J. Cole on it, and I like that he went there. So we survived the I find that really fun to sing along with, and the weird melodic kind of like there's something kind of Bone Thugs and harmony about it. It sounds cool. I think it works. It's just got a very loud personality about it, which I appreciate. Lonely at the Top is probably my favorite on the whole thing. Excellent beat on that. But yeah, disc 2, Life Sentence and Only You are so unbearable. Just kept saying like, yeah man, doing life with somebody, this is the realest shit I've ever said, which I found really annoying. He just kept calling it the realest song he's ever written, and that's just particularly annoying when it's a song you hate, I guess. Only You has this corny like nasally delivery on it that I can't get into, and he's talking about red velvet cake. It was a serious like folding clothes moment. He's like, you don't like red velvet no more, to his like girl or whatever. What If, my fucking lord, stop it. He's talking from the perspective of Tupac and Biggie if like things turned out differently. You can't make it up. You fucking serious? That just seems like a skit. That seems like a skit video on TikTok, but it's like for real. It was like the streets go be upset or some shit like that. It just sounded so silly. I don't know, man. This album, it's not my favorite J. Cole. I think my favorite is still this one. 2014 Forest Hills Drive ultimately is a pretty strong body of work. Be able to verse, but be able to burst, be able to hearse, like the whole fucking song. He does that. Yeah, I'm kind of whatever on this album. I feel like the general quality of this record is like pretty okay. Like it's well put together, but it's just through that sort of myopic vision of what good rap sounds like, and it just doesn't really move me too much. And I just wish this thing respected my time a bit more. I feel like I just dicked about for a lot of it. Yeah, I ended up giving it 2.5 out of 5. Listen to By Storm's album, that's really, really great. Probably my favorite of the year so far. Na-Kel Smith's album is also tremendous. Xaviersobased. I just listed 3 examples of the exact opposite of the problem I have with J. Cole. Great examples of people that just outwardly reject the rules of music and just funnel hip-hop through their own extremely specific singular vision of what it can be and use it to make something really expressive and one of a kind. Like this album really feels like healing. It feels like avoidance. It feels like fighting through denial and grief, and that's kind of the sort of tone of it. And I just don't think The Fall Off by J. Cole really channels anything too strong or emotive or singular. It's just sort of a very by the book idea of what good rap sounds like to me, as far as just the wider creative spirit of it. I don't know, you can drum it up as like, oh, you know, strong production, he's got good performance and blah blah blah, and it's like one of the strongest rap albums like from like a technical point of view, but I just feel so little when I hear it. I fucking love Dead Weight off this album. I think Dead Weight is so wonderful. That just cascade of drums flying in is absolutely nuts. I really enjoy how often this album just sits in a really strange, like deranged, brittle musical passage and just really lets you feel it as you sink into it. In My Town, the last like 3 minutes of that song is just this looping instrumental that sounds so like on the brink of falling apart. And Zigzag as well. I love the instrumental on Zigzag. The part where he goes like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like you can feel his life force draining or something. It's just so emotive in ways that are like skeletal and maybe amateurish in one breath, but they all connect combine. I was getting the words combine and connect confused there. Into something so palpable and meaningful. Best Interest, probably my least favorite. Strikes me as a little bit of an interlude. But when I hear the record, that one, feels the most like background or tune-outable. Mostly because Richie's voice is mixed quite low. I wish it was like a little bit louder. Final track, GGG, Ghost Go Ghost. Incredible closer. Really, really love the instrumental on that one. It's beautiful. Tear-jerking track right there. Double Trio 2 is unfucking believable, man. That's a crazy ass song. Check out this Na-Kel Smith, by the way. You might recognize him from the film mid-90s. He's also on a few Earl Sweatshirt tracks. He's like a Odd Future affiliate. My bro left today. Fuck, from DNA. He's on DNA by Earl Sweatshirt. This album's pretty sick. Very distorted, clipped beats. Definitely in that kind of woozy, underground, trap adjacent sound. Like these beats are really, really like aggressive a lot of the time, particularly in the second half. Like Coke White and Bin Had are just fucking knockers, bro. Na-Kel Smith sounds kind of lackadaisical, nonchalant, but he's always really nicely attuned to like the bounce of the beat. So he sticks out, even though he sounds easily unaware of the song surrounding him. He's riding it in a way that feels almost like he's just naturally part of it. It's lovely. I think he's a really cool MC, and I've been really enjoying this record. Xaviersobased album is awesome. It's a much more kaleidoscopic album. It's 21 tracks, and these tracks really do whatever the hell they want to do. They don't adhere to any rules. This is like a punk ass album, to be honest, but it's super like sensitive and sentimental. Like the chords on this thing, they feel really painful a lot of the time. This album sounds like it's really convincing you of its like importance. It's like a desperate like last will, final plea kind of vibe. I don't know how to word it exactly right, but it's really beautiful. Tony Hawk and Get Them Rex Then I Go Part 2, unfucking believable songs. Harajuku could bring me to tears on the right day. There's something kind of weirdly gorgeous about this thing. It's one I'm struggling to sort of fully unmask its identity, as I've listened to it a few times now. It's one that's really got its hooks in me. I want to figure this album out a little bit, I love an artist that is, as boundless as this. Plenty of filler too, but the overall package it kind of culminates into is pretty good. Checked out this Lean. Shout out to my brother Jude for showing me this Aleem album. It was pretty funky. I enjoyed it. I'll come back to it. I've only given it one listen. Had a good time though, but one I need to come back to talk about it. Okay, I had like a bit of a thing for Joji all of a sudden. I listened to this new Joji. All of a sudden I got really weirdly, I don't know, like infatuated, curious, interested in Joji as a creative, like his discography and just his whole thing. I'm like, he's a curious one, man. It's a weird-ass catalog, dude. So I remember when Joji first sprung on the scene as Joji, obviously he was Filthy Frank before fully hard committing to Joji. At the time when In Tongues was getting rolled out, the debut project from Joji, the EP, my best friend, he was like super passionate, like following Joji's like breakout projects, and I think maybe he might have been into Joji like during the sort of early SoundCloud, like while he was doing, it was like a bubbling thing, like Joji, he's actually like a really good musician, and maybe there were like a couple songs floating around at the time that were like showing a lot of promise and potential. But I just feel like Joji, for me, 4 albums deep, has never quite escaped this being this artist with potential. He's always sort of promising the idea of something better than what you're getting a little bit. Like that was never more apparent than fucking Smithereens. Like with Glimpse of Us, bro. My I had friends of friends, like their mum were posting on their story like Glimpse of Us, like Glimpse of Us was like a 1 billion, 1 fucking billy streams, bro. Like Glimpse of Us did the rounds, man. And that was like a song that proved like Joji's songwriting potential is a real thing, and like he could really make something amazing that could spread and reach loads of audiences and move people. But I remember when this album got announced and it was like 9 tracks, double disc. I remember thinking like, whoa, that's like a statement. 2 discs, and the other single that wasn't Glimpse of Us was the Yukon interlude. I was like, oh man, but it's like a full length album. So how long are the other tracks gonna be? And then it came out and it was like 9 songs, 20. It was like a fucking EP. I was like, what? And it didn't really feel like there was much purpose or carefully assembled thought really into like the 2 discs and like what they're really saying. Like the overall image of what Smithereens is. Its identity was just like nothing. It was just like a fat load of fucking nothing. And the songs on here aren't even that bad, to be honest. Die For You, I think, is really good. Dissolve is lovely. I think The Night Rider has a sick like beat to it. Generally, there are some good things purely on the aesthetics here, but like it's just nothing to chew on. And here we have Piss in the Wind, this brand new one. And this album, genuinely, if your favorite shit Joji's ever done is the last 4 tracks of is disc 2 of Smithereens, you're gonna love Piss in the Wind, bro. Piss in the Wind is literally just these, like, the vibe he was going for on these 4 tracks, but for 21 tracks. Really brief little vignettes, a lot of them very moody, very sad, and I think it is, like, at times pretty emotive. I really liked Piece of You. It had a lovely, like, ending. I wish that song was longer. I wish a lot of these tracks were longer. Love You Less. That is Joji in his bag, to be honest. I want to hear more shit. I just added it to my like song. You know what? Cool. I should have done that by now anyway. I didn't even mean to do that just now. But your Cigarette's kind of weirdly catchy. Like, there were, like, brief glimpses of fun, like, cool song ideas. Like, this is like, I don't know, a lot of this, though, it's just weird that they're just not more fleshed out. I feel like there's a lot of potential and all. Like, it's just Joji's entire thing is, this could be good if you did X and Y, but it's like, in its current state, it's like almost good. That's like his whole thing. Piss in the Wind in its entirety, though, I think it is pretty pleasant. I don't think it's too bad. It's a lot of the songs are just very worthless. Strange Home had a fucking horrible 808 on it. Like, Silhouette Man, fucking If It Only Gets Better. Like, why are they even on this album? These are songs that should be, if they're going to be released, it should be like a bonus on a mixtape or like a deluxe EP, like some, not like studio album shit, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff is what pads out this album and makes it a lot worse. But every now and then it finds like a nice rhythm. I think Piece of You through to Past Won't Leave My Bed is a pretty nice little run of tracks. They flow together as like a little micro EP segment on the album. If I single that out, it's like a pretty cohesive little batch, you know? There's a lot of like nice little batches. There's like a pretty discernible mood and atmosphere and emotional tone to it all, but I don't know, it's okay. It's probably my favorite thing Joji's ever made. It's the most I've enjoyed a Joji album. Like, I could hit play at most any moment on the track list and just let it rock, and I'd be generally entertained by the ideas cycling around. But I feel like very obviously on most of these tracks there was like effort that was not made, potential that was not reached. Like, very distinctly, that is like Last of a Dying Breed, I think, could be huge, awesome, euphoric, but it just kind of fizzles out for me. It's probably one of the more disappointing songs here. It's a tough one. Sojourn is pretty cool. Kenny Beats and Dylan Brady on production with that one. Past Won't Leave My Bed, lovely little ballad. Like, there's like Horses to Water has some gorgeous piano, harkening back to some of those early Joji, like that In Tongues kind of sound, but with a bit more clarity and like precision. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've come away from every album like Joji could do like something really cool one day, and it just keeps not happening. It's really interesting to me. After that, I revisited Young Lean's Unknown Death, 2002. Pretty fucking great project, dude. Actually awesome. Very amateurish rapping, but still loads of passion, loads of hunger in there, some incredible instrumentals. It's like a cloud rap essential, honestly. And yeah, we just went through the Joji catalog a bit. I checked out this new Mandy, Indiana. Been reviewing pretty well from what I can tell. It's critically doing really nicely. And it seems like the Rate Your Music crowd, they're taken to it. I did hear their first album. I was not into it. As you can see there, I've given it 2 stars. I didn't think it was particularly good, but I think it went down generally okay. This new one, though, based off my one listen, it's a lot more striking. It's industrial. It's loud. It's a bit more abrasive. There's more anger to it. My friends like it. I could see the appeal a lot more with this one. I'll give it some more time. It was moody and dark and angry and had a lot more distinct identity. It was kind of digital as well. It sort of sounded like a cyborg malfunctioning quite often, like on Magazine. Like the drums on Magazine were particularly quite like contorted. It was some cool musical ideas. I look forward to exploring them further. That brings us to today. Today I listened to In Tongues. In Tongues is horrible, by the way, bro. It's so, like, seriously awful. That one's a stinker. Bitter Fuck. That's an embarrassment, man. I checked out the first 3 tracks off this. I don't know about this Daphni album, bro. This Daphni, Hang was rough, bro. All 3 of these songs started off like, here we go, Daphni, let's party. And then they just went fucking nowhere. The loops are nowhere near as addictive and colorful and eccentric as they were on the previous Daphni album. But again, we're only 3 songs in. There's 16 songs to get through. I'll give the rest a go. I'm a big fan of Caribou/Daphni. Overall, I am very interested in Dan Snaith. But I don't know, these 3, they kind of felt like Daphni on autopilot. Like, I don't want Daphni to just become like, oh, the shit ones that didn't turn out right. Let's just put it into a Daphni project. I don't think that's what he's doing, so I don't think it should feel that way. But that's what I thought. It's a shame, because I think Cherry is excellent. I love Cherry. Yeah, Butterfly, we'll try it. I don't think it's going down too well with the people either. Yeah, 3.08 average is kinda, yeah, Ricky wasn't really fucking with it. Doesn't really seem like it's landing too well. I'm not sure what it's saying critically speaking. Critic score is 78 on Album of the Year. 63 for the user score. 81 user score for the Fall Off. Damn, bro. That's not bad, you know. See, Joji's in that kind of middle range. Rat Boy's doing really well. Mandy, Indiana is looking like the album of the week, bro. As far as pure numbers, pure like hit rate, this seems like it's shaping up to be the must listen. As far as some singles I've been into, we got these three. Tabloid Talk is fucking rad, dude. Really good. Really, really good. I'm just gonna get it on the screen for you guys. Excellent collab right here. They both sound really, really great. Underscore's just proving herself to be one of the strongest talents and voices in pop. Just melodic, ear candy. Everything she touches, man. Ear candy. The big explosion in the middle, there's like a part where the synths and the bass just blast. Really, really great beat. I think they both collaborate on the beat too. A really, really great music video on this one. We have Rusty. Rusty is back. Rusty's like kind of getting more officially back by the day, and I'm terrified. This is big news for me. This is huge information because he's like I don't know if I'd be making music if it weren't for Rusty. I think the very first time I ever had the thought I should make music is when I was listening. It was during a listen of Glass Swords. And here we have this new track from him. And he's been doing these weird little singles. He had these 3 from 2024. They were all like these drumless, like synth passages with these distorted melodies. There's like a small minority of Rusty fans that are like, this is like the future, like no drums, just pure like distortion. Yeah, I don't know. This new one has drums. It's clipped like fucking crazy. The drums are really buried, but they're there. I don't know though. This is not how I imagined it, man. When I thought of the Rusty comeback, this is very far from where my brain went. And I don't know if he's on some shit that I don't know if I'm going to figure it out 30 years from now. Like, this was actually genius. I feel like I definitely won't. This is pretty ass, to be honest. They should call the song Athanasia. I don't know whether or not to take this seriously as a rollout. It feels like it's self-aware, perhaps. Like, with these fucking moody, like, eyes and shit. Surely, as Rusty, you have to know that this is pretty fucking weird. There's something about this, I can't explain it. It just feels like Harmony Korine. This feels like his Harmony Korine era. His version. This is his version of whatever the fuck Aggro Drift was. There's also a new Knocked Loose track with Denzel Curry, which is pretty crazy. Pretty cool collab. I think the collab went over really well. To be honest, Denzel sounded awesome on this track to me, but it suffers from something I think a lot of Knocked Loose tracks suffer from, and that is it constantly like stop starts. It keeps trying to like reload the hard part over and over again, and it gets a little annoying. And Knocked Loose, they seem really obsessed with this, but it's cool to see Denzel Curry in like his metal bag. I think he works so damn well in that context. I would love to hear him collaborate with more hardcore bands. Like, I would love to hear that. I think that'd be really cool. We had the Bad Bunny halftime show. I watched that. That was really wonderful. I particularly like the part where he does the Trustful. I thought it was really, really nice. Really beautiful, just visual image story, just way to get across the general point of that halftime show. It was just a really gorgeous show. It was like pretty hard not to find it heartwarming. But as a performance, it was really good. Great breath control and choreography and storytelling and just set design, you know, like it was really A1. Loved the show. It was beautiful. We have some new announcements. Also, Jack Harlow. We have Jack Harlow. Fang album comes out tomorrow. That's awesome. I'm really excited for that. I think Fang is cool. Flying Lotus has some stuff. He's in a very strange spot right now creatively. You know, he's not really like the musical maestro that he was like in the 2000s or the early 2010s, where he's just pumping out just great albums, like back-to-back great albums. Like he made a movie. He had the anime Yasuke. He did Flamagra, sort of like a Here We Go Again album. It was like this really overstuffed batch of like pretty good songs. Most of them were just sort of like whatever. And then he had a pretty like so-so EP, I think last year or the year before that. Can't quite remember. But yeah, he's got a short film called Big Mama, with some wild ass characters and visuals. The trailer looked really crazy. Like, he's a really out there creative. Like, his movie Kuso is one of the grossest and weirdest movies I've ever seen. Oh yeah, didn't he do a new film as well? He did a fucking sci-fi movie with Aaron Paul. Yeah, I don't know. He's just sort of been a bit all over the place as a creative. So maybe this EP will get him back into like focus mode. I don't know. I will be listening to these three when they come out, although I'm not like too passionate about any of these artists. You know, you should know. I feel like you should know that these are happening. You know, these are ones to watch right here, bro. April 24th, March 20th, and May 1st. Get those in your damn calendar. Baby Keem's got his next album out next week. That is great news. I've been excited to hear new Baby Keem for a minute. He's a fun one. He's a very fun artist. I think he's interesting. And there's a Kendrick Lamar feature. That'll be fun, hopefully. You know, if it's anything like the previous collabs. However, tomorrow we get all of this. That is great. That is a good batch. Converge is the big one. But yeah, I'm tired of talking now and my nose is getting a little blocked. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. But that's what I've been listening to. Bye-bye. What have you been listening to, actually? Before I say bye, what have you been listening to? Let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.